Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Australian NASCAR Truck Series, brought to you by CT Electrical. Race number 2 at EchoPark Speedway, also known as Atlanta Motor Speedway. I am Dylan McDonald, brought to you. Next to me next is Mr. Wesley Outland. Wes, how are you doing out there tonight, sir?
What's up, man? Good evening, Aussie mates and mateys. It is 8 p.m. Australia Standard Time where they are. It is 4:06 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time where we are. But we are rocking and rolling. EchoPark Speedway, Atlanta. I mentioned this in the X Series race on Tuesday night. This is super speedway on steroids. It's fast, high-speed truck super speedway racing like last week at Daytona or Talladega. But, Dylan, it's a lot more compact. It's going to be exciting, man. We're ready to get it started. Another race, round 2 of the Australian NASCAR Truck Series presented by CT Electrical. Buddy, you got the lineup.
Starting grid is going to be Josh Micklemore for Nitro in P number 1 and Dave O in P number 2, the other Nitro entry. Joshua Houghton in P number 3 with Gary Wellman in 4th. Row number 3. Starting 5th is going to be Fitzroy Beaumont and Jason Holdsworth in P number 6. 7th and 8th is going to be Griffin Gardner and Lewis Greathead. 9th and 10th in row number 5 is going to be Sam Chapman and Tom Freer.
Moving on to row number row 6, starting 11th. It's been Henniker in the number 23. Keith Hackney from Georgia on the outside, stage winner at Calhoun last week. Jacob O'Reilly for Vermilion and Nitrous. Riley Curtis starts 14th. Row number 8 finds Shane Bowen in the Cobalt entry, and Nicholas Garrett will start 16th. Row number 9 here at EchoPark, it's Project 36 with our buddy David Lawler and the Chooch of Brandon Griffiths. Top 20, we'll find another group of teammates with Angus Lawford, and Troy Davidson starts 20th.
P number 21 is going to be Jared Gilbert and Kute Dow starting outside in 22nd. 23rd is going to be Matt Danson and Aaron Borg in row number 12. Row number 13 is going to be Tim Blundell and Braden Segesser in a 26th. 27th is going to be Andy Barber in the number 194 and Ryan Barber in the 05. 29th is going to be Chris Finley and Brian Blundell making up for P number 30.
Need a roundabout. Darren Robb will start 31st. Aaron Dorman got to call the race with Neon Juzanite. He will start 32nd. Brad Wright and Marty Mitchell. Then it's Trent Lavelle, CT Electrical on that Chevrolet. Mr. Davis on the outside. Kelvin Clark, Adam Gray starting in row number 19. 38 trucks ready for tonight's race here at EchoPark Speedway. Bigglesteen Hopton, I missed you, buddy, last night. Good morning to you, sir, where I am. Good evening to you in Australia. There's the race analysis for this evening. There'll be 2 30-lap stages that'll take us all the way to lap 60, and then there'll be that final push of 75 laps. Ready to roll. Beautiful day in EchoPark Speedway on virtual Atlanta. Track temp around 81 degrees, 27 Celsius. Winds northeast 11 miles an hour. Sim temp at 68. Clear conditions. Humidity 31%. Dylan, perfect day for racing as we're coming to green with a truck.
We're ready to pull those belts tight for the first time here at EchoPark Speedway. We are under green flag conditions. Josh Micklemore and Dave O are going to lead us back to the green flag to start this race here at EchoPark. A little bit of lifting going to happen all the way throughout this racetrack, all the way in and through, but a 3-car breakaway already up here in the front. Everybody just trying to regroup ground and find their way around. A little bit of pushing and shoving going down the backstretch, but going into the corners, a little bit of lifting to keep off that back bumper as Josh Micklemore shot out like a cannon. Going to go up top with his Nitro teammate of Dave O. Going to try to help pull them single file up on that front row, but it's going to be first lap. Josh Micklemore to the race lead.
Speedway racing on steroids up the banky. That's 28 degrees here at the ATL. Micklemore, Xfinity champion of last year, up on the high side. He's got down Dave O. Holty and Zach, of course, the South Carolina driver. On the left elbow, Holdsworth, Hutton, Wellman now sticking into the battle as they work to 3 and 4.
Yeah, everybody just trying to be patient. And another thing that they cannot do, Wes, is they can't go below that double white line. Double white line is going to be a little bit of an issue if you go down there. You're going to have a drive-through going through into pit lane, but everybody just still going to try to keep it above there. As you see there, you can see going into turns number 3 and 4, Wes, you're going to see some white lines down on the inside. That's a pit road entry. So a lot of these drivers think that they can get into pit road right off turns number 3 and 4, but no. Pit road entry starts going into turns number 3 and 4, and now it's going to be Nitro. 1, 2, 3, Dave-O, Josh Micklemore, and Jason Holdsworth. Top 3 spots are held down there on the inside.
Dave-O in that second spot right now. You're on board with him as he tries to make a reel in on the Micklemore truck. Of course, now Micklemore holding on. Nitro, the bottom of the racetrack. Holdsworth right there as looks like Dave-O's in the middle of that Nitro sandwich. All the while, Keith Hackney, keep an eye on him. He's in that second pack in the middle lane, the number 6. Winner at Daytona. Trying to do what Tyler Reddick did in the Cup Series, trying to do it in the truck. They work their way back up corner to 1 and 2.
Yeah, you see already, Wes, you got 2 different packs forming already here at EchoPark Speedway. And we already seen a little bit of 3 wide going on towards the front of the pack. Now we're going to jump on board with the number 23. He's all by himself, Troy Davidson. Now riding on board with Matt Danson. He's leading that second pack. I guess you could say second pack is Troy Davidson got a little bit ahead of Matt Danson, but with the draft that these drivers are going to have throughout this entire racetrack, you're going to see that second pack possibly catch up to that first pack, and maybe they might even send back there saving a little bit of gas. Again, 30 laps the distance for stage number 1, 30 laps again for stage number 2, taking you all the way to 60 laps in this entire race. But already, the beautiful side-by-side racing that we're seeing here at EchoPark Speedway has not been the same ever since the repave here at Atlanta.
Hey, by the way, I want to remind you to give a new like to the Highline social media. They're on, of course, now Facebook again under @Highline HQ. Meanwhile, battle for the lead. Olgie and Zach up top side. He's got help. Here comes Hackney. In the bottom. Looking down, great head. And Shane Bowen can't decide whether to go top, bottom, middle as it works down with Dave-O to the lead in turn 1 on lap 7. He goes to the top. Couple of Carolina boys and George on the outside lane in 2.
Yeah, look at that 3 wide going into turns number 1 and 2. Looks like Keith Hackney got into the wall just a little bit, but able to keep his car and truck as straight as he possibly can. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum going into turns number 3 and 4, but still going to be 3 wide for the race lead. Here we go. Through the middle, all by himself, is going to be the number 2 or 112 of Lewis Greathead. Not able to get the pass done. It's still going to be Dave-O out front. And look at that, Dave-O and Keith Hackney all the way down to the bottom to help the other Nitro teammates to get them 1 through 4.
That solid line. And we're already 3 wide now. Micklemore on the bottom, pushed with Nitro of Holdsworth behind him. Owen's got Greathead in front of him. And then you got the tailgates up on the high side of those entries. Look at the 41, Tom Freer, trying to get around O'Reilly. Working all around the racetrack. Look at this gaggle of traffic up the bank and in turn 1. Are you not entertained in the early going into the OTL?
doing this race last week on the service, Wes. I can tell you the bottom lane is definitely where you want to be. You want to be where you can get the most out of your truck, and being down on the bottom, you're going to be lifting a little bit going into the corners, kind of like how you're doing at Daytona to stay off the rear back bumper of the truck in front of you. But you also got to think about tires. Tires are going to mean a lot here if they don't overdrive the truck. But riding on board with David Lawler in that number, Project 36, he's going to be able to save it. The Kyle Busch save of the night. David Lawler getting a little bit, stepping it sideways, but able to get it back going. No caution, going to keep it green. He's got a nice little gap between him and the second group of cars, but it's all Dave O and Keith Hackney up front. O'Reilly trying to make his name known here in the number 228 with Josh Micklemore taking over that third position.
Unbelievable. He saved it, and we stay green. Hackney now, winner last week at Daytona, leading him. He's already got a stage win, looking to win another one. Working now 11 of 30 laps in stage one. The Australian NASCAR Truck Series, presented by CT Electrical. Thunders off at turn 4. The power up in front is from Calhoun, Georgia. It's Hackney from the Peach State, ironically, at the Peach State track, ATL EchoPark, leading them in turn 2.
Yeah, Josh Micklemore and Jason Holdsworth kind of keeping their distance. They have what they need to do, keeping the distance between all four of the Nitro entries. As Josh Micklemore going to slide up just a little bit, going to give enough air to Jason Holdsworth right behind him. Your truck temps could overheat going into the corners if you're not too careful. It's kind of like Daytona with the drafting in the way that you need to get around the truck, as everybody just trying to fight and jockey for enough position to try to get a run and see if they just can't try to take that top spot. But so far, everybody's still trying to stay single file.
They really are. Playing nice as Keith Hackney working his way around the corner into 3 and 4, coming back in front of the massive suites. Great grandstand view and high above start finish. Look at these awesome camera angles. Biggles staying up to the man with a plan. Biggles getting it done. Hackney right now. OG and Zach. Micklemore, Holdsworth off the top 5, and they're right now again breaking up 2, 3, 4 packs of racing here at Atlanta as we head halfway in stage 1.
Yeah, you can see it there. Everybody just trying to bottom feed here at Atlanta, trying to get enough to do what they need to do. Shane Bowen going to get pushed up top. He's going to be all alone. He's not going to have any drafting help, so watch the run down on the bottom to get around that number 38 machine. And he's, again, no help on that outside. And you can see just how quick you can lose a lot of those positions. Shane going from about 5th all the way back down to 9th position, or 10th position, excuse me, as he is now going to cycle in behind a Tom Freer. And now it looks like the number 112 of Lewis Greathead going to look at the top side and see if he can take it away as well.
Yeah, certainly will. Closing in on, watch that hot machine, and now look on the outside lane, Project 36 falling back. Lawford, the outside lane, struggling here tonight. We didn't see that in Tuesday in the X Series event, but for right now, the trucks, it is, right now, you got to be on the bottom. Anybody that tries to go to the outside, got to push it. If not, you're stuck on the inside to carry that momentum, and right now, we're catfishing. At least in this pack we are. The caboose in the back there, that red truck. That's your top 10, by the way, all single file. The conductor is Hackney, Daytona winner last week. The caboose is Bowen, and those 10 trucks now stay single file. Coming back to you with 12 to go, Dylan, in stage 1 at the ATL.
Yeah, 12 laps to go here in stage number 1, and you can see it there. Everybody running single file, not losing a lot of time out there on the racetrack. Everybody's just kind of jockeying a little bit around, getting some cleaner on that front nose. But that second pack, Wes, starting to make a little bit of ground up on that front pack. I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in the 12 laps that they have for the rest of the stage number 1. but still doing what they need to do. Is if they can get lined up, I think they might be able to get caught back up to that first pack and see if they just can't make a run on that outside.
Yeah, we'll see all this going on down into the corner again as right now Hackney still in the lead. Keep an eye now, the 101. That's the man behind the top 10. That's Chapman now leading that second pack. And they're trying to get organized now to try to make a run. Or do you really need to, right, Dylan? I mean, you're going to be at the end of the stage. There's the winner, of course, from Tuesday, Matt Danson, defending Australian NASCAR Championship winner. The ANC from Sunday. By the way, remember, that'll be a Thursday, Friday affair starting in November after the end of Season 2 of the X and the Truck Series. There'll be a 10-race back-to-back Tuesday, Thursday, 5-week series to determine the champion of the ANC. All that goes on with the All-Stars. As right now, the challenge chase rolls on with Hackney in the lead, single digits in Stage 1.
Already, even though this is a mile and a half west, this first 30 laps has gone by fairly quickly. As we look there, everybody's still single file. The top 6 have started to break away. It's like everybody just still in that right mind of, okay, let's just kind of push each other, help each other out where we can. We don't have to worry about pitting. We don't have to worry about doing anything else. And it's kind of starting to work out for them in their favor as we're now back to 2 wide with a 228. And Tom Freer on that outside. He's not going to have any help out there as O'Reilly still trying to get around Tom Freer. And now you got Angus Lawford going around with Tom Freer to try to help him push him forward.
You know, you still got plenty of time, right? I mean, I know 8 points are up for grabs, but it's just a great opportunity. What a bounce back, by the way, for the Project 36 entry of Angus Lawford. He had problems in the X Series race on Tuesday, but right now, Dylan, a stellar run for this guy, currently sitting in the number 2 spot, or in the top 10.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, sitting in the top 10, doing what you need to do, that you can't be too mad about it. Yes, there's stage points. You're going to need all those points that you can get, and being in the top 10 as of right now, keeping your truck as clean as you possibly can, definitely a big win for Project 36 entry of Angus Lawford. As everybody, you see just a little bit of the gaps that everybody's leaving. They don't want to be right up on the back bumper. If you're up on that back bumper for multiple laps in a row, West, the pusher, or the push-E, I guess you could say, is going to get extremely loose. I did a couple races last week while we were here, and yeah, you're going to start getting a little bit more pushy, more dicey, more edgy. You're definitely going to get the car in front of you a little bit loose as you push them all the way throughout the corners. But still, all a single file, doing the snake, the conga line, each and every single lap. 5 laps to go here in stage number 1.
Time running out as Calhoun, Georgia, Keith Hackney is, as one guy said on social media, I guess he's cherry picking, right, Dylan? He's getting up at 4:30 in the morning, our time, USA, Eastern Daylight Time, and going after the Aussies, if you will. And I guess you could say the same thing about American Dave Olgienzak as well. Olgienzak from Charleston, South Carolina. So Hackney, Davo, 1 and 2, Mickelmore, Holdsworth, Houghton, top 5. 4 to go now in stage 1.
Yeah, 2 drivers that really work very well together. They've been running a lot of laps together last week as well. Is going to be Davo and Keith Hackney. So the drafting goes back to Daytona with them too. You know, they ran a lot of races together. They ended up figuring out what they can. The Vermilion, Mr. Joshua Houghton, going to look to the outside of Nitro's number 8 of Jason Holdsworth. Wasn't there, had to drop back in. He's currently sitting 5th. Hurried up, drop back. Now he's going to look to the outside once again. He's got help. Loon's great head.
Wow.
Goes with him that outside. Run to the line. 3 laps, well, coming to 2 laps to go, stage number 1.
Holdsworth real loose there for a minute. Up the outside, here comes Greathead. Greathead now with a push from the 080. That's Houghton's truck. And he'll make the move now on Mickelmore. Can he get there? Not yet. Here he comes now. Vermilion, Houghton, pushing, going. outside lane. Will it happen? What is Dave-O going to do? Right now he's behind Hackney. He's on the inside, Dylan. They're coming to the line. 1 to go in stage 1, and Micklemore battles around Hutton on the bottom into 1 as well.
1 allowed to go, but these guys are driving like it's the very last lap of the entire race. And look at that. Just like that, the top lane has come around, and now Lewis Greathead kind of jumping down to the inside. He got off the back bumper of Houghton. That's going to allow 31 of Josh Micklemore to jump back up. They're going to be side by side. Battle for first is going to stay with Keith Hackney. He's going to be able to get the stage 1 win, but third is going to be Joshua Houghton, taking home P number 3 at the end of stage number 1. Beautiful racing all the way in and through. They waited to the last minute. They choreographed it perfectly. Just not able to stay locked on that back bumper to push them all the way up there to challenge Keith Hackney for the stage win.
How fun was that? Keith Hackney picking up not only another stage win, his second stage win of the year, the winner last week also. Actually, if you want to be honest, because the third stage counts as a win, it's his third stage win of the year. He's also won Daytona last Thursday night as well. So, Team Nitro, Keith Hackney, there he is. And I got a feeling, Dylan, we're going to see everybody come down to the pit lane here.
Oh, yeah, definitely going to see a lot of, if not everybody, a lot of these drivers are going to go down into pit lane, top off on fuel, get some fresh new tires. And this is what I was saying in the beginning of the broadcast was pit road entry. A little bit different than every other racetrack that we're going to end up going to.
Yeah,
Pit road is going to be into pit or into turn number 3 and 4. So a lot of these drivers, I did not know that after, because I don't really get around to watch the NASCAR and race a lot. So when I went into pit lane, I ended up getting a black flag for not entering a safe pit. Kind of ruined my chances at a win, but I was like, oh, my bad.
That's on you, dude.
Didn't read the rules into the description on the racetrack, but after that, I never made that mistake ever again.
That's on you. Obviously, if people didn't know, you got to drop down to the inside of the racetrack down in turn 3, and it's one of the tightest pit lanes where we had about a 35, 40-foot width of pit lane at Daytona. This is only about 25, 27 feet of width on pit road. Pit entry is important, so is pit exit, and getting in your boxes. Here they come. Keith Hackney, stage 1 winner, keep it off the grass. Joshua Hutton, Team Vermilion, first truck out in that beautiful 080 machine there, Dylan. All right, stage 2, ready to roll.
Yeah, nice little come up for Joshua Houghton. Going to go in P number 3, come out P number 1 into pit lane. So now we're going to see what Joshua Houghton can do in some clean air. Trucks are going to act a little bit differently in clean air. As you see it there, last pit stop, everybody took fuel. A couple people took 2 tires. Angus Lawford, the only driver to take 2 tires. And then Dave-O, Keith Hackney, Micklemore, Jason, and Jacob O'Reilly, all 4 tires. So a little bit of different strategies here for a lot of these drivers, Wes.
Yeah, very sure. And no doubt about it, as we're keeping an eye on that, is Joshua Houghton. Looks like he got fuel, Greathead fuel. All this going on. Fuel, 2 tires, 4 tires, fuel only. Last pit stop info. It could be correct. It might not be right. I don't know. But nonetheless, everybody will get ready to come back out here for another 30 laps for stage number 2. Hey, by the way, Jason was giving me some information. I mean, I'll admit, guys, you know this. Dylan, Dean, you know this proudly. I don't go on Discord every day of my life. I mean, I just don't use this platform except for when I'm working. So I'm seeing notes from obviously last week or from earlier this week, but just give us a heads up. Team Connie is a series. There is no Team Connie in this series. There's a Vermilion Esports and a Vortex Sim Sport but some of these guys have those Team Connie logos. So I guess we've in the past we've mentioned them and thought it was Team Connie, Dylan, but it's not. It's Team Vermilion and Vortex. So there you go. There's the schedule ahead. Dylan, you ready to get road racing next Thursday night? We're going to be at Coda with the X Series. We're going to be with the trucks. Presented by CT Electrical at Long Beach next Thursday night, sir.
Yeah, Long Beach is definitely going to be I guess you could say, wrench in the plans. Is first time that the trucks have went to Long Beach in the official truck side, but get ready to go. Back green is going to be Joshua Houghton in P1. Him and Dave O. Beautiful launch on that restart. They're going to take over P1 and P2. Lewis Greathead going to be in P3. Dave O immediately up to the outside, going to try to take away that race lead from Joshua Houghton. A little bit of side draft all the way down on a bumper. Dave O all the way back up to the top. He's got Keith Hackney and Micklemore, and it looks like Jason Holdsworth up there on that high side. They're going to bring them all the way around. Micklemore and Hackney going to try to take that outside lead off of turns number 3 and 4. Hackney back to the race lead. Micklemore going to try to take over P2.
Me for Nitro Racing, representing them proudly. Back on the whole shot and back out in front again. But a solid run. Dave-O right behind him. Of course, a 311 entry. There's another solid run for this guy as well. That's another driver, by the way, for Nitro. And Nitro looking good as here comes also some more Nitro trucks with Jason Holdsworth and Micklemore right there in line as we go back up the banking. 28 degrees here at the Atlanta EchoPark Speedway in turns 1 and 2. Biggest movers of the race on the bottom right of your screen. You see them.
Yeah, Jamie Davis all the way up 16 positions from where he started. A little bit of a dive down there. Sagasser and the number 97, he's going to take over that position. Shane Bowen left out to dry once again on that high side as he's going to drop back multiple positions. He's going to try to hopefully drop back in line, but what a perfect execution by those Nitro drivers up there, Wes. Getting to that outside, choreographing all those moves perfectly to a T, and letting everybody know when to check up, when not to check up. They don't want to run over everybody in front of them, and already top 7 back down to single file.
You're right. Manny Manna, to answer your question, Nigel Siddell is having real work obligations for the farmer, the milk farmer. So he is working full time at his job. And he was telling me this evening before we came on the air, he's going to be probably working close to 100 hours with his job this week. So no help making him work many hours on the dairy farm. So that's why Nigel Siddell is not with us as our pit reporter presented by CT Electrical. Nonetheless, 10 in next time by of stage 2. And Keith Hackney, Dave-O, Micklemore, Holdsworth, all Nitro trucks up in front there. Dylan as they work in the corner number 3. And look at this now. Here comes somebody trying to poke out of the line. Keep it on Chapman. And oh no! Kute Dow! Project 36! Vermilion in the wall! Caution's out!
Not sure if Kute Dow had a little bit of help going into the corner there, Wes, or not. Oh no, Matt Danson.
And the Xfinity winner from Tuesday night caught up in the accident as well.
Oh, well, Matt Danson doesn't have any damage on that truck, Wes. I wonder if he just cut through the grass to try to miss it as we get the CT electrical replay.
I think he did, and he missed the drainage ditch.
As you see here, Kute Dow up in that third lane all by himself. Oh, Angus got a little bit loose.
Lost it. Lawford into Kute Dow's driver door. Nowhere to go for, boy, David Lawler just barely squeezed by there. Fitzroy Beaumont in the fence. And now we're going to see what happened to Tuesday winner, Matt Danson. We're going to see what he did here. Oh, boy. The 52 right now is at 26, Angus Lawford. On board, Matt Danson. Here it is, Dylan.
He sees the smoke up ahead. He checks up and goes right to the grass.
He's fine. Missed the drainage ditch. He's fine. Little off-road recreational driving.
He's just trying to help out, mow the grass just a little bit, but able to get all the way in and through, keep the truck as clean as he possibly can. As Fitzroy Beaumont gets involved, Kute Dow, the 52.
Lawford's 13th. Trying to get another angle with Angus Lawford. They're trying to find out what position he is. Here it is, the 52.
Yeah, rear end steps out west. He overcorrects just the tiniest little bit, collects Kute Dow, Fitzroy Beaumont. Nowhere to go.
Hey, Dylan, you can't make this up. Dean Hopton was showing on board with Kute Dow whenever he got hit, and literally just all of a sudden he's spinning.
Another big thing goes out to all these drivers to understand that there's a truck wrecking on the tri-oval and inside the corner, and everybody, you see it there, Wes. Checking up, giving each other room, scattering like flies. There it is. Once again, a little bit of overcorrection. He's going to get overcorrected as well. Fitzroy Beaumont, nowhere to go. And then you see everybody scatter like flies, getting their trucks slowed down to not hit the other guy in front of them. But pit road's going to be open this time by. I can see Kute Dow going into pit lane. Fitzroy Beaumont and Angus Lawford all in pit lane. Going to get some tires on that. Get some tires on those trucks, as now we're going to see Davo, Keith Hackney, Micklemore, Jason Holdsworth, O'Reilly, Houghton, Greathead, Sagasser, Bowen, and Freer are your new top 10.
All right, lights off on the pace truck. There's your race recap down below. 2 cautions. Now, that last caution was for an on-track accident. The first one was for the end of stage 1 naturally. 42 of 135 laps. So we're under 100 laps to go. It'll be 92 remaining when they come back inside the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone. 3 lead changes now amongst 2 drivers. Keith Hackney, stage 1 winner, and up in the front again from Calhoun, Georgia. Davo from Charleston, South Carolina. All team Nitro, the first 2 rows. Houghton, O'Reilly, Sagasser, all ready to bring them to the gas. Green is out, backing away in stage 2 here at the ATL, Dylan, and it'll give them not even a lap or 2 to get up to full song. These guys will come to the whip immediately, heading full song with Hackney in the lead in turn 1.
Yeah, already you see there Keith Hackney getting a really good launch on that inside. He's going to go up top and pull along Jason Holdsworth to get around Micklemore. Micklemore's going to be the last car in line for this Nitro train. Up here in the front, you can see them all scatter 2, 3 wide, all the way in through turns number 3 and 4, excuse me. As now everybody needs to get back to single file. The outside lane wasn't working in stage number 1. What can they do now? Joshua Houghton leading the outside charge. He's only got 2 other trucks behind him up on that top side, and everybody else is going to be catfishing down on that inside.
A little catfishing, as you mentioned, as these guys thunder their way into the corner here out of turn number 3 and 4.
Everybody doing what they need to do. Davo all over the back bumper of Keith Hackney. Give him a little bit of a push going through the tri-oval. All over the back bumper once again for the number 6. 3 wide for P number 5 as Houghton up top shelf, able to keep it straight. Back down to 2 wide. The 228 of O'Reilly. Down on that inside, Lewis Greathead now leading the charge on that outside as Joshua Houghton drops down to the inside.
That 228 of O'Reilly, Jacob O'Reilly, by the way. All these drivers now working their way back in the corner number 1 and 2. That's Jacob O'Reilly in that 228 entry. He must be a new entry because I don't have any info on this guy. Actually, my apologies. His number tonight is 228. His registered number for Vermilion is 222. So he's in the 228 tonight instead of the 222, but nonetheless, there's Braden Sagasser now. And there's the EKG chart for the driver currently of Braden Sagasser in the number 7 position on the racetrack.
Yeah, you can see it there, Wes. He hasn't really dropped down as much. As soon as he got up there towards the top 10, he's kept it fairly consistent. As right now, everybody's still single file, but now look, the 228 of O'Reilly going to look to the outside of Joshua Houghton, not going to be able to get the run that he needed. He's going to drop down behind Houghton once again. Going to try to pull these 3 cars up there to that top pack and just kind of ride for a little bit. I mean, you got 12 laps to go in stage number 2. You got to make sure that something can happen. You see, you just can't get around these top 4 as get ready to come up on lap traffic. Looks like the 194 of Andy Barber.
By the way, Braden Sagasser, Dean, he's running for the 19 racing team. As the 194 up high, keep an eye on him. Getting a little scare there for just a moment. Way up top of the racetrack. That is the driver of, is that Barber, I believe it is?
Yeah, that's Andy Barber in the number 194.
Yeah, it's showing him his time that's scoring as the number 5, but he's in truck 194. By the way, Holdsworth and Barber are tied for the most starts in NASCAR Australia competition. Both career starts, 178 for them tonight, Dylan.
178 races for both drivers, absolutely insane, just doing what they need to do. Holdsworth currently sitting P number 3. Andy Barber sitting towards the back. He's 1 lap down currently in this race, but he's still not out, right? I mean, if he doesn't get into an accident, he gets a lucky dog, he gets put back on the lead lap for stage number 3. He can still get a lot of decent points out here as top 7. In a line, Houghton trying to find any and every single way that he can to get a nice little run on that outside, trying to push himself up towards the front.
By the way, Ryan Blundell, 3rd on the all-time start list, right behind them, only down by 177. Literally, 1 race separate those drivers of Holdsworth and Barber tied. That, by the way, is Andy Barber, not Ryan Barber. Jason Holdsworth for Nitro. Career starts 178 tonight, tied. And Brian Blundell currently in the top 25. He is in 3rd, 1 behind them at 177. Brother Tim Blundell is right behind Brian. Career start 128 tonight at EchoPark. 7 to go. Hackney trying to win another stage here at the ATL. Coming off turn number 2.
Yeah, look at that. All uniform down on the inside, just keeping it nice and straight. Like you said, Wes, 7 laps to go in stage number 2. A lot of drivers just trying to get a little bit more than what they need to get some more stage points racked up on their points altogether. Angus Lawford going 1 lap down. That is not what Ryan Barber wanted to see. He's going to be not eligible for Lucky Dog come to the end of the stage. And now they're all back down to single file as top 7 has really checked out from 8th on.
Everybody all single file. Now, when will they start jumping out of line, right? I know we got Nitro teammates all in that group there, but when will it start becoming impatient here? We'll start watching them now, as there you see now on board Joshua Houghton. And notice, Dylan, that if you just pull out a line, right? Watch that 080 just a moment ago. when he pulled out of the back of the tailgate of Micklemore. Look at how he just loses momentum there. He has to stay in line. If he goes on his own and he ain't got no friends, he can't go nowhere. Now he's got a burst of momentum on the draft, but if he goes out of line, he'll lose all that. And the other guys behind him, they're reeling him in like bait on a hook.
Yeah, they're just like what you would see at Daytona. You know, you got to find your friends where you can. If they're not legible to go to that outside, you can't do it all by yourself. You can give a little bit of a run, get side by side with somebody, but if they got trapped in front of them, they're just going to end up pulling away as Joshua Houghton once again gets to the outside of Josh Micklemore. He's going to battle, and here comes Jacob O'Reilly. It's taken every ounce of me, Wes, to not sing the O'Reilly Auto Parts song to remember his name, but now he's got some help on that outside. He's going to give him a little bit of a push going into turns number 3 and 4, but it's not going to be enough to get clear of Josh Micklemore.
To the line, 2 to go. Hackney stays to the inside. Dave O will follow, and so will Holdsworth. And look at now Braden Sagister getting around one truck, going after another. He now puts, look at this, and here I told you, look what happened to Houghton. He just lost 4 spots in that exchange. He's got to rally back to the line, Dylan. 1 to go. Hackney in the lead. Will it last in stage 2?
1 lap to go. Stage number 2. Keith Hackney, Dave O, Jason Holdsworth, Josh Micklemore, Sagister, O'Reilly, and Houghton all battling for the stage 2 win. Everybody single file all the way down the backstretch for the second time. Cautions out. We had a wreck on the speedway. That's going to end stage number 2. Shane Bowen and the number 38 getting collected in the second caution of this race for on-track incident. Getting a nice little replay here by CT Electrical.
Yes, sir.
Drift handbrake.
And what a job again by Keith Hackney, right? I know some people in the chat are saying, oh, Uncle Keith cherry-picked in Atlanta. I don't know if I can call it that. Double D Dave Douglas, man. He's really worked hard. Let's watch this again. Look at it. David Lawler into the back of the 38. Cobalt entry. Hold on, baby. Oh, he missed the pace truck. Save. I mean, he missed the pace truck.
He missed the inside wall, too, down in a pit lane. Beautiful save by the number 38. Obviously not what he wanted to see getting turned around there, but able to lock it down, get himself through the grass. Came back up the track, but kept the wheel to the left to keep him down on the bottom of the racetrack and spin himself out. But that's going to be in the stage number 2, Wes. A little premature there with the wreck coming out of the turns number 3 and 4, but everybody going to come down into pit lane at 2 tires, 4 tires, no tires. What's the call going to be? Get ready to start stage number 3.
4. I really do. I think you saved your tires, maybe took 2. The first stage, 2 stages down. The guys that did only take fuel only the last stages, they're going to now fill up the tanks and go 4 tires only. I think if you're everybody on here, you're going to make a 4-tire stop, and I can already see that the rights are going on, lefts are going on. Obviously, if Nigel Siddell was here with us, he could be able to give us pit reports, but he's not. And our pit reports presented by CT Electrical, so I guess we're doing it ourselves, right? The race off pit road. Is Dean, you going to break in? Pit report? Dean Hopton, pit report? He says, hell no, I'm not a pit reporter. Oh, I mean, Dylan, obviously we've done this together, so we know, we got this. But there's the look at this guy. Stage 1 winner, stage 2 winner. And now the man out of Calhoun, Georgia for Nitro, his Toyota is ready to bring him to the green for the 3rd final stage to push to the finish. And we go back to green, obviously, now with 73 laps to go.
Yeah, nice little pit stop for the number 6 of Keith Hackney. Going to be able to get in and out, staying in first position. But while you guys are out there watching on the YouTube lane, Facebook, and X, make sure you guys give us a like, share, follow. Hit that subscribe button. It is completely free. You don't have to worry about doing anything. hit the little bell notification so you guys don't miss anything that Highline HQ and Highline has to offer on all social media platforms. I want to thank everybody out there for tuning along in with myself and Wesley Outland. And then you got Dean Bigglesworth in the production trailer, giving you all the beautiful camera angles, shots, whatever the case may be, up there in the production trailer. So a big shout out to him. Doing all the hard work for me and Wes. So all we have to worry about is calling the action on the racetrack. Well, make sure you guys hit the little bell notification so you guys don't miss anything that Australian NASCAR has to offer here on Highline and Highline HQ on Facebook, X, and YouTube.
Really, I want to send a big shout out to Jason. He hit me up on social media this morning and actually let me know that they have a Highline HQ Facebook page up, and Australian NASCAR, I believe, is actually piping in the broadcast on Highline via Facebook right now as well. I think we're on, man, there's a whole bunch of platforms, by the way. Just find out Highline streaming. Give us a like and a follow, and obviously click the bell. As Dean always says, click that bell so you can keep up with all the content. Next week, trucks at Long Beach. Next Tuesday night, the Australian NASCAR X Series will be at Coda. They're going to be at Circuit of the Americas. The trucks will be at Long Beach. And the reason why is the trucks are actually this weekend in conjunction with the IndyCar Series at St. Pete. Don't forget the NTT IndyCar Series. Dylan, I know you're going to be excited. IndyCar starts Sunday for you. Let's see all this weekend. Back to green. Here in Atlanta, 72 to go. This is the checkered flag, my friend.
Yeah, we got the top four Nitro up there on the outside. Jason Holdsworth. Jason Holdsworth now up on the outside. Keith Hackney getting on down in front of Holdsworth, but now he's going to go back up top to help the 311 of Dave O. Going to pull him around. Jason Holdsworth and Josh Micklemore, top two, going to go ahead and break away, but that's not going to be the case. They're going to be all bunched back up here once Holdsworth and Micklemore can catch back up and get everybody back in a single file racing line as 71 laps to go in stage number 3. Are we going to be able to see a green flag pit stop going into this final stage? That is definitely going to be a new question to ask. It's a little bit of a tighter pit road getting it down into turns number 3 and 4. But Josh Micklemore, he's got the 112 of Lewis Greathead to his outside. He's not able to get back up to Jason Holdsworth, but still going to be side by side for that second pack.
Need to go now. As again, Team Nitro, top 3 up ahead, got single file. Then you got a big gaggle of traffic fighting with Greathead and Micklemore. Outside, inside, followed by O'Reilly, Sagasser. There goes, of course, the 97. Up top side, Chapman of the 101. Freer right there. Top 15 separated by mere inches of one another as they rumble back with under 70 to go back into turn 1.
You can see the side draft that Lewis Greathead is giving to Josh Micklemore. A little bit of sideways connection there for the number 228. He's able to save it down there on that inside. That's going to allow Josh Micklemore to get away from that side draft from Lewis Greathead. Joshua Houghton back on that outside for Team Vermilion Esports. He's going to try to make something work on that outside. Not going to be able to get the help that he needs. Getting ready to go 3 wide. Brandon Chooch Griffith going to try to make his name known. Not a driver that we haven't really been able to talk about all night. He's been fairly quiet, working himself up there to P number 12.
Here comes the choo-choo up there. Not choo-choo, but chooch-chooch. Got chooch, baby. And that's Griffiths now. Project 36 trying to get hooked up. Whoa! Hang on there. The 93 almost went off the racetrack there. As Jamie Davis now trying to battle around Curtis and company. All this goes on, boy. Up in the back straightaway, Dylan.
Yeah, you see there, Jamie Davis able to get around Riley Curtis in the number 93. Riley Curtis certain all the way back here in the number 22, I believe. He's looking at it. Exit is right now, but up top is going to be top 4 is going to be Nitro. Then you got Vermilion Esports right behind them with Lewis Greathead, the number 12 machine, sitting in 5th position. And just like that, Wes, just a couple laps in this race here in Atlanta, and already single file for the top 8. Well, actually top 15, as nobody is trying to make a advance or try to get left out on that outside.
Oh, those trucks are fired up. They're ready to roll. Hey, how about we rest our voice here at EchoPark? 65 to go. They're rolling. They're rumbling. They're thundering. CP Electrical presents Light It Up. There's your first intro into it, Dean. Come on and light it up. Oh, am I singing it? Sorry. Sorry, Dylan. I was doing my own version of 1,000-foot crunch, fire it up in my head, and I forgot that the mics were on. I thought the mics were muted. They weren't. There you go. That's awesome. I was getting all excited too, guys. I was firing up, baby. And light it up as that'll be our new crank it up for Australian NASCAR X Series and Truck Series action, presented by CT Electrical. And by the way, speaking of CT Electrical, they're on the racetrack with their sponsored truck. Big thanks again, as always, to Trent Lavelle. He currently is in the top 25, up 12 spots in 23rd. And Dylan, there is the truck in all its glory.
Give it a little bit of Jeff Burton vibe with that livery on that number 67 machine. Is nice little thunderbolts, or lightning bolts all the way across that beautiful number 67. Trent Lavelle off to a great start to the season. Always like to see Trent Lavelle out here getting some laps in, just riding around, doing what he needs to do, staying out of trouble, keeping that truck as clean as he possibly can. Is still single file throughout this entire racetrack. He's got the 651 right in front of him. Get a little bit of front clean air on that 651 as everybody's still trying to just catch up to that front pack. They want to have nice, tight racing here at EchoPark, but so far so good for a lot of these drivers. All single file all the way around this 1.5 mile racetrack with 59 laps to go here tonight in West. This has been a very, very clean race to start off with here for the first non-super speedway restricted plate race that you can officially say has been fairly clean and green all the way in and through this race.
You're exactly right. I'll tell you, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with what's going on and where we're at. And, you know, we had that little kerfluffle, if you will, out of turn 4 at the start of the race, but it really wasn't anything like the big one. Now, are we jinxing ourselves and thinking that we probably will see a big one? I mean, you know, this track provides it, but right now these guys are minding their P's and Q's. Hackney is in a Georgia state of mind, pardon the pun. He's from Calhoun, Georgia. This would be like a home track win for him if he gets it done. And if you think about it, Dylan McDonald, if he wins this race, he will also be a back-to-back winner, shades of what 2311 driver Tyler Reddick did, winning the Daytona 500 in Atlanta. last Sunday. And in the Australian NASCAR world, he's trying to do that with the trucks tonight.
Yeah, you know, everybody up here dropping it like it's hot, the way that they need to do it. And, I mean, you know, that would be actually pretty cool to see Keith Agnew getting the double down, just like you said, the 23-11 entry of Tyler Reddick to get the race win. With no front right quarter panel, I should say. That car was injured and damaged the almost entire race, but he was able to get that beautiful restart on the final restart and collect his second win of the season already. But so far, I mean, I think right now, Wes, I think everybody's most content on just riding right now, try to save as little bit fuel as you possibly can. They don't want to try to make any moves, right? You've seen Joshua Houghton in both stages trying to make the move to that top side, get the runs, but you got to have the right person behind you to give you those pushing shoves going into the corners, out of the corners, down the front straightaway, in the rear air, in the backstretch. You got to find that right person that knows when to do it, how to do it, and how hard he can push it all the way around this racetrack. And I just don't think Joshua Houghton has found that person
yet. Maybe. Why now? Trying to keep an eye on that for sure, right? I mean, we're watching them. I think we will see pit stops at maybe about under 35, 25 to go. I think we'll see pit window open up. What do you think, Dylan?
I'm thinking the same thing. I mean, I know you can go about 40 laps, give or take, maybe 50, all the way to go on a full tank of fuel. All I did the fixed stuff. Again, everybody that's racing in the series, they're on open setups, no fast repairs. So, open setups, right? So when you go into pit lane, you can adjust stuff. Whereas if you're on a fixed set, which is not custom, you can't fix anything. You can just tighten the truck up with fuel and just kind of go from there. You can adjust your brake bias. The open sets, you can do the spring rates, you can do tire pressures, you can do whatever you can to make your truck as quickly as it can be. But one wrong move could cost your race a lot. Just in case if you hit the wall head on with the rear or the side, whatever the case may be. No fast repairs in this series, so kind of taking it away from the official side and what IRL NASCAR does. You know, you only get a 5-minute clock window, I guess you could say, but obviously only you get a little bit more with this series with, you know, fixing all your damage, as long as it doesn't say too much we're done.
Well, they, just so you know, they've upped the damaged vehicle policy for NASCAR. It's now 12 minutes for this year. Now, obviously, as you mentioned, there was no 12-minute time limit, or if you mess up your truck for the NASCAR Aussie Series and you have to come down to the pit lane and take service. And normally, for the most part, Dylan, I mean, here we go again. Watch this truck up high. Nobody will go with him. And look what the 43 has to do, Dylan. He has to get on the bottom line to go with somebody, because Aaron Bourne cannot go up on the outside. Here he goes again. Maybe he's got help this time with 23 on Project 36. That's Lawford, that's Lawler. Will they do anything to help him? That's Griffith, actually. And look at Bourne. Got to get down. Got to get down. Got to find a way to get in there, and he can't, Gillen.
Yeah, you seen it there. Jamie Davis kind of got up on that back bumper of Aaron Borg and went right back down to the inside. Aaron Borg going to try to squeeze back in. No, not going to be able to. Jamie Davis is there. But, I mean, it's a lot different than what we've seen up at the front, Wes. He's not really dropping back at all. There's no drop at all going towards the back as we're getting closer down towards the end. 47 laps to go in tonight's race. I believe they got lap traffic coming up ahead of these leaders. There it is. It looks like Kute Dow and I believe Timo Blundell. Number 4, 1948 to 2012. So one of his drivers ended up passing away, but big condolences to Timo Blundell and their family as they get ready to go through that once again this year. And already making the light work of the lap traffic. All the leaders going down into the bottom shelf down in turn number 1 and 2.
There's the back straightaway with Hackney right now. Davo in second. Holdsworth, and we're still single file. And anybody, Dylan, that is driving up on the outside lane, they're realizing that it's not going to work. You're going to have, I don't know, Dylan, what do you think, about 4 trucks maybe to get something going on the outside? I mean, because it looks like the momentum now is on the bottom, and this is surprising enough. Now, here's something to think about. I want you to think about this as well, Highline streaming audience. When we ran the Australian NASCAR X Series on Tuesday night here at EchoPark, Dylan, it was late in the evening, in the afternoon, sunset, finished under the lights. This truck race is happening in the bright of day. Mr. Engineer, Producer, give us the sim time, if you don't mind, on the screen. I know you've been waiting for popping up what the official time of the day is that shows it. Okay, he has to go in iRacing to do it. Well, right now, it's clear conditions. It's 90 degrees track temp, 32 Celsius. Sim temperature right now, which it looks like it's in the afternoon, Dylan, is 68 degrees. Totally different than what they ran with the X cars on Tuesday night. And I got to feel, I'm wondering, with 42 to go at the line, Dylan, if this is a reason why we're seeing these trucks catfishing, staying locked to the inside of the racetrack, nobody jumping out of line. And if they do, if it don't work, you got to get right back to the inside.
Yeah, you know, that could play a big factor in it. As you see there, they're starting to get a little bit loose now and a little bit of start tracking up the racetrack. Find that little bit of grip for those fresher tires. 41 laps to go here. And it's, you know, to go back to your question about how many trucks, I think it's going to take more than 4, Wes. I honestly do. I think you're going to have at least 6 or 7 trucks to go with you on that outside if you want to try to get yourself all the way up there towards that front. You can see there all 4 nitro entries up to that middle lane to kind of combat that looseness coming off of turns number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But they're more unison as down on the inside, Vermilion Esports 112, Lewis Greathead, Braden Sagasser leaning on each other, trade a little bit of paint, but not that harsh. As Lewis Greathead just going to go ahead and give Braden that position. They're going to lose a little bit more time doing that, but look at the run that Braden got going through turns number 3 and 4. He's going to be right up on the back bumper of Josh Micklemore.
Here, kitty. That's all I got to say. Look at the what looks like a flat line, if you will, for Braden Sagasser. Consistency right now. Top 5, top 4. All right, so we're single file, and some people thinking this is a snooze right now in the chat box. And guys, about time to turn it up, I think. When are we going to start to see fireworks? Right now, everybody's locked to the bottom of the racetrack, Dylan, and nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, I honestly think they're still just in that riding stage. 38 laps to go. They know pit road's going to be in their window here coming up relatively shortly.
You think they're waiting for green flag pit stop? That's what you're thinking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think after those green flag pit stops, that's when the racing is really going to start to perform here. As Micklemore all over the back bumper of Jason Holdsworth, kind of keeping his distance, running that middle to high lane on that number 8 machine, trying to keep as much air on that number 31 as he possibly can. And I mean, do you want to sit in line? Do you just like the pace that you're running? Do you want to try to lead a lap? Has been nothing but Keith Hackney up there towards the front for the entirety of this race. Davo sitting P2, Holdsworth in third, and Micklemore in P number 4. The Nitro entries have not changed much. It's been those 4 in the front.
Now, Dylan. 35 to go when they come back to the line. Do you think that that's why the racing has been what it has? Because everybody is waiting for the money stop, if you will. Now, remember, here's something to consider. You talked about it yourself. Don't get that black flag penalty. When you commit to coming down pit road, you have got to drop below the bottom of the apron. Keep it at 90 miles an hour. Truck off the pace, he spins! Look out! Truck around Project 36. He's below the apron. We stay green. No caution. 35 to go in Atlanta.
It looked like a deep purple truck and a black truck. Maybe Aaron Dorman if he's not racing tonight. That's kind of what the truck reminded me of, but able to keep it down below. No caution flag out here tonight. I know the front runners were kind of puckering up, getting the code brown going on with all that smoke that they seen, but now we got pit road open this time by. Look like Brian Blundell down in the pit lane this time by. As everybody going to try to get into pit road with 34 laps to go in stage number 3.
The way I think I said Project 36, and thank you for letting us know it was Aaron Dorman. He is with the Australian wide racing team. And all the while, we are waiting to see when are you going to pit road? What are you going to do? Got a lap truck up on the outside. Whoa! Look at this. Oh my, Kelvin Clark. Dave O. Hackney. Lap traffic. This is an Achilles heel that threw things in a mumbo jumbo for the front leaders out of 4.
Yeah, it's always going to be a little bit harder getting around lap traffic. They got to be more predictable, as they had lap traffic down on the inside and the outside. Only one way to go. That's going to be going through the middle, as the lead lap cars on the outside, lap down cars on the inside. Going to try to make quick work of all these lap traffic. Going to try to get them around before green flag pit stops go in. And Wes, another question that I want to ask you is, do you think the whole top group that we're seeing right now going to go in together? Or is it going to be like Daytona where they're going to split it up?
I think Team Nitro better pit with each other. Team Nitro better pit with each other. Because if they don't, they're gonna screw themselves out of this race. So they got to get in line. Notice that they're getting in form here. Oh, we got a truck spun! Caution's up! No, green flag pit stops out the window! Yellow flag will fly!
I wonder if that was Aaron Dorman.
That is in 29th position. That is the driver of Marty Mitchell that spun below turns 3 and 4. Caution is out. Lap 105. Dylan McDonald, EIEIO, throw pit stops, green flag style out the window. Everybody is coming down pit road, and Marty Mitchell locked up the truck when he was trying to commit to coming down pit road. I believe he was too fast, and he had to slow down, or there would be a penalty for it.
Yeah, good driving by Marty Mitchell to get that truck slowed down, locked up on the brakes to not slide back up in front of the rest of the competition to create a bigger issue for a lot of these drivers. But now this is the money stop for these drivers. Who's it going to be? Everybody going to go down into pit lane for the final time here tonight. Tires, 2 tires, What's it going to be for everybody going into pit lane here for the final time at EchoPark Speedway?
Money stop. This pit stop presented by CT Electrical, and make sure you hit your box. Do not make any mistakes. Be flawless. And for all of y'all that said that it's been a snooze fest, I think the fireworks are about to pick up here.
Keith Hackney taking 4 tires and fuel coming out in P number 1. And once again, Dave-O, top 4 is going to be all nitro entries. Keith Hackney, Dave-O, Jason Holdsworth, and Josh Micklemore going to be your top 4. So top 4 did not change, along with the top 5, I should say, as Braden Sagasser going to take over P number 5. But Jared Gilbert, your current race leader as of right now for Project 36 and that number 237. Haven't talked a lot about Jared Gilbert, but what does that mean for the number 237, Wes? No pit stop this time by. Maybe he's banking on another quick caution.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Bank on that quick caution. We've had, me and you both are in agreement. We think the fireworks are about to begin, right? The fat lady ain't sung. She's warming up her pipes now. And ready to see what kind of finish we're going to see coming up here when this thing gets back underway. By the way, don't forget, next week, Australian NASCAR X Series will be at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. The trucks will be at Long Beach. Dylan, that's going to be kind of unique. Long Beach, California for the race next week. I don't even think I've announced an iRacing event at Long Beach ever. Yeah.
Well, you know what, the next one that came back to mind is Going Back to Cali, but I couldn't think of the song name, but now I got it. We're going back to Cali next week. Long Beach, watch some racing in the Nitro Discord with some other Nitro racers doing a little bit of Long Beach. I am, for one,
was you gonna do a little Tupac California Love?
Oh yeah, you could do
California, no time to party. In the city. Of course, we're not going to be in LA, but we're not going to be in Compton. We're going to be in Long Beach. Oh, it should be a good one, though, Dylan.
Yeah, that was one track that I have not ran any laps on, but I know you got to go around a fountain. There's a couple double apex left and right-handers. There's going to be a lot of, hopefully a lot of give and take here at the first road course of the season. But Jared Gilbert going to lead us back to the green flag.
Green's out. Green flag. Green flag.
Back
He's
underway,
going to get
baby.
a nice little jump. He's going to give a shot from Dave-O. Not getting the best start of his life. Tier 3 wide going into turns number 1 and 2. Keith Hackney and Jason Holdsworth going to take over P number 1.
Started their contact. They were crashing. Oh no! The big one has happened with 35 to go. No, 27 to go. The big crashes took place. I lost my train of thought on the number count, and they're still crashing. Greathead, Bowen, Blundell, Lavelle, Micklemore, and a partridge in a pear tree, all collected, maybe more. The big one. You wanted it? You wanted a crash? You got one. Lap number 109.
Dave-O getting involved as well. You can see it there. Dave-O getting tagged by the number 237. Micklemore getting involved. And just like what we've seen earlier in this race, everybody's going to scatter. And Trent Lavelle, hitting Dave-O. Shane Bowen hard on the inside. Deck lids flying everywhere. So everybody in the YouTube world, Facebook, X, whatever you're watching on, if you guys want some memorabilia from a lot of these drivers, they're going to be down in pit lane, autographed, ready to go for $4.99. Looks,
In the chat
yeah,
box
oh yes.
on the Highline HQ had a sleepy emoji, and then he said, "Sorry, Wong emoji, go guys." And then they go, and then they crash. Look at this again. Wow. I mean, the track's blocked. I know that that my time in scoring only registered 5 trucks, but my God almighty, Dylan McDonald, it looked like about a 15, 16 truck pileup. Look at this again. I mean, my.
Well, if they wanted a burnout pit with all the smoke, they definitely got it there.
Lavelle, there he is. Shane Bowen on board with him. Bing, bang, boom. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Said you like bowling, Dylan. That was about a 7-10 split right there, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. You got to go every which way that you can, and Tim Blundell putting it right into the inside wall. Not a lot of damage on the number 4 machine. He had nowhere to go. Trent Lavelle, he thought he was going to be clear, and then right at the last second gets tapped, and then taps the 311. He's going to lose his rear bumper on the number 67, and then when he turns back around, him and Shane Bowen going to make connection here once they get back to going. And make more.
Another angle. Watch this again. Look, wow. Oh, boy. Dave-O around. Micklemore. Chapman. Trent Lavelle. I mean, so many good trucks. Project 36 trying to thread the needle, driving through the parking lot. Trent Lavelle running into somebody else trying to pull away. Man. Riders of the Storm. There you go. Hey, thank you. Get little doors. Little Jim Morrison there with Dean in my ear. All right, Dylan. So, I'm reading the chat box here. Holy moly, 3 wide didn't work out well there. LOL. Hayde ENN saw that coming. Genius move, not pitting, really gained some more damage. Yeah, staying out at Atlanta certainly is a choice. Yeah, I mean, it is a choice. And there's a gamble, and there's a price to pay. And honestly, as we move there, by the way, there's wrench wranglers. There's drivers that are on the pit lane taking the damaged vehicle policy to fix their cars, their trucks, if you will. 23 to go at the line, and we're ready to bring it back to green, Dylan. Is that just the start of things? We've only just begun. Or is it going to simmer down and we're ready to race for the finish? Ready to bring them back to green. Team Nitro, Hackney, Holdsworth on the front row. Back to green.
Back to green this time by Keith Hackney getting a beautiful launch on that inside lane. He's going to get clear of Jason Holdsworth. He's going to jump back up top to help his teammate Jason Holdsworth on that outside. He's going to pull him on around of Braden Sagasser. And everybody's still trying to get where they need to be. Jason Holdsworth is going to get clear down that bottom. Tom Freer, look at him making his way up to the P3 position. Now top 3, single file, Braden Sagasser and James Houghton, or Joshua Houghton, going to be side by side. Looks like Aaron Borg in the top 5 there, Wes. He's been back in the 20s and 30s.
And remember, he couldn't get up there earlier. Remember, he couldn't get up on the top earlier. Aaron Borg had to stay to the inside, and now he's in the 5th position. Got himself an Xfinity run in the duel, or the showdown race a couple of weeks ago, to show his talents in that 43 car. Now the truck is in 5th. Closing in on 20 to go. Next time by, Georgia boy from Calhoun, Keith Hackney, stage 1, 2 winner. Now trying to go for the hat trick and wins 2 in a row. for NASCAR Australia. Working the back straightaway. Holdsworth, though, right on his back door as they work it 3.
Look at that beautiful push by the number 8 of Jason Holdsworth, pushing him forward and above where he needs to be. And now we got Brandon Griffith. He's going to try to look on that outside, but not getting passed by Matt Danson. On that outside, he's the only truck on that outside. Everybody else conga line down to the inside. They're snaking all the way down the back stretch. Single file through the top 16, 17 positions. But it's going to be Brandon Griffiths up there on the top shelf by himself.
Caution, out, trouble. Brian Blundell involved. The 777 is still spinning of Kelvin Clark. Blundell and Clark, caution out. Bottom of 3 and 4. Under 20 to go. Yellow flag, 3rd time. Actually, will be the 4th time if you count all the stages. 2 for accidents. And hell, I lost count. It's the 5th caution, actually, because there's 3 now for on-track accidents. This one, a little minor accident earlier in 3 and 4. The big one on the restart of the back straightaway, and 2 for the end of the stages. So this is the 5th caution. Here it is. Blundell, by the way, he is 3rd, 1 race behind on the all-time starter list, and in to the inside. Well, actually, the outside safer barrier damage on the left and the right of that 86 truck left in front there, Dylan. Wow.
Yeah, everybody else back towards the back, able to get around Kelvin Clark. Going to look on board of the 777. He's going to see the smoke arise in front of him. He's going to get on the binders pretty quickly. He's going to chip this truck sideways all the way down the inside. It's going to be Tokyo drifted. Almost collects the number 38 of Shane Bowen, able to get his truck stopped out there on the speedway. So just a 1-truck incident here tonight with the number 86 of Timo Blundell. Is Davo back down into pit lane to fix the rest of that damage. Same with Josh Micklemore from that big scurry down the backstretch off of a restart.
It stops and more pit stops with drivers getting vehicles fixed. Wow.
So we've had the calm, we've had the rain, and now we got the actual storm here tonight, Wes. 118 laps complete out of 135, and you know what they always say in NASCAR, Wes, cautions breed cautions. And so far that has been full song here in the late running.
I was about to say, my friend, isn't it? I mean, we're seeing it right now. Like, literally. We're literally seeing
deer it. Camera.
Not digger the gopher. It's the deer camera. It's the Highline deer.
We should just call it the Dean camera as of right now.
Lee Mack chiming in, and right now, a shout out for Brandon Chooch Griffiths. He is outside the top 10. He is in 11th. Matt Danson, Atlanta winner for EchoPark on Tuesday in the X Series, is now into the top 10. Kute Dow, by the way, involved in an accident earlier. Dylan, he's back in the top 10 and 7th. Joshua Houghton as well. Good solid run for these guys, climbing back in this thing, and it's not over yet. Lights off on the pace truck. We're come back around with 16 to go.
Yeah, get ready to go back to green as we got another Dean camera down on the inside. Had Dean in our ear there just a couple of seconds ago as Keith Hackney decided to run it over.
It's a Dean Deer camera.
Yeah, there you go. Ended up running it over, and all we hear is Dean go, "Don't run over my camera."
Got my camera full.
We're having a lot of fun over here.
Can you hear me, boy? Can you hear me? I'm not going home with empty pockets. I tell you, better follow me and stay the hell away from my camera. Hackney. Holdsworth, by the way, everybody, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in America. Indiana for Dylan, North Carolina for me. And Hackney from Georgia. He's a USA guy trying to double down in the series as we go back to green. 16 to go here at the ATL at EchoPark.
Jason Holdsworth quickly down to that inside and top 6 already. Single file racing already for all these drivers. Tom Freer back up to P number 3. Is he going to get a nice little run? Is he going to jump up to that outside? They're 3 wide towards the back. Able to keep it straight. One of the Project 36 machines going to drop down below the double white line. Possibly going to take that truck into pit lane or possibly getting out of the way. But they're still 3 wide, 3 abreast towards the back, trying to jockey for a little bit more position here as everybody's barrels out back down to single file.
15 to go. There, Holdsworth had a chance, Dylan, to catch him on the restart, but he backed away. Notice that Hackney kind of, just kind of stalled, or maybe he didn't get up to speed, but instead of Holdsworth going for it on the outside, he let Hackney continue to pace and pick up momentum. Truck on the bottom, they race on. Now it's going to be Hackney inside. Holdsworth right there. Tom Freer, what a run for this guy in the 41. He's in 3rd.
He's doing what he needs to do. Currently sitting P number 3. He's got a little bit of distance between him and Jason Holdsworth. Trying to figure out what he can do to split the 2 nitro trucks up and to get around the number 8 and then possibly the number 6. He's got Braden Sagasser all over his back bumper. Is that going to be enough of a run to take to the outside and to possibly see a new leader of the race? Braden going to go ahead and back off the throttle just a little bit. Doesn't want to give Tom Freer a big bump going down the backstretch. But everybody within a full second of each other doing what they need to do, keeping the trucks as clean as they possibly can, and still single file with 12 laps to go in tonight's race.
We don't get something going on that outside lane with more trucks than just 1 or 2. They're never going to be able to get around these guys on the bottom. And I believe Kute now will try it. He's got Riley Curtis behind them. But notice that it's not working. The power is on the bottom. Can somebody prove me wrong? Can the force go to the top shelf where Grandma hides the shamrock cookies from Grandpa and sometimes his dentures? Because St. Patty's Day's on the horizon. And they need some luck to make it work as they come out of 4. 10 to go, Dylan. It's go time. They're pushing, they're shoving. And Dallin Curtis cannot go yet.
Yeah, Kute Dow and Riley Curtis both on the Nitro sets. He's trying to make something happen. He's getting alongside Nitro, pushing along on that outside, trying to get some sort of momentum going. Kute Dow, Riley Curtis now catching up to the back of Braden. We're going to try to make something happen. Now, does Tom Freer go to the outside, or is he going to stay down on the inside? Looks like he's going to be right there on the back bumper of Jason Holdsworth. Kute Dow all alone up there on the top shelf with Riley Curtis. These 4 drivers now up on the top as Project 36 decides to go from the bottom to the top. Brandon Chooch back up to the top, and now they're going to have 2 more. Matt Danson going to join them as well. And Micklemore.
Now, here comes 5 friends up on the top shelf. Time running out though. 8 making 8 to go. Look at Danson being pushed by Micklemore. He says, I'll give you a shove. I'll give you the assists.
Joshua Houghton's going to move himself up to the outside as well. So the top now starting to gain a little bit of momentum if they can get
I don't know about this, man. I don't
There
know about
might
this.
be a nice little race to the finish here with 7 laps to go.
I don't know about this, dude. I feel like you're just getting ready to get torn from the floor up. I think somebody's going to tag the outside wall, and when they do, they're going to spin right into the inside pack. 7, make it 6 to go. Look at this. There's a head to the wall. Hang on. Go up there. Chooch, Brandon Griffiths. Can you do it? He cannot. He's got to push. He can't get there. 6 to go. Hackney is still in front.
All the momentum they had, Riley Curtis ended up getting into the outside wall. He's going to lose a lot of positions here on the racetrack. And that momentum on the top has now dissipated to near to nothing, as it's going to be the 6 of Keith Hackney, the 8 of Jason Holdsworth, the 41 of Tom Freer, and the 43 of Aaron Borg with Joshua Houghton. He's your new top 5. And everybody still double file, but top 6, going to be single file, is leading the charge on that outside. Is going to be the number 97 of Braden Sagasser.
Under 5 remaining now. Sagasser with help from Kute. Now look at Griffiths now. Getting bypassed by Houghton and Barber. Look at this wad of traffic. As my friend, Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer used to say, I got to stay the hell out of this. This is the Snakes patch. The storm's brewing. It might be a Fujita scale of a Category 5. The cyclone of EchoPark going on, and you want to somehow survive this thing, Dylan McDonald. Griffiths, Sagasser, door to door, top 5 single file, 4 to go now, make it 3 to go into the ATL.
Yeah, 3 laps to go, top 3 contend on where they're running. They just want to get this race finished, get the points, and get out of Dodge. They got a road course next week, Long Beach in California. Going to be the first race of the season that we're going to see left and right turns with heavy braking zones all the way through the racetrack, and a little bit of fountain. Make it the Catalina wine mixer, as one would say, as everybody's still trying to get all the way up and around. You see him there, Keith Hackney, protecting that bottom like there's Miss Piggy down there, as he's got Mr. Kermit the Frog on his truck. He's got to make sure that he protects Miss Piggy from last week to try to get himself up there. Scute down is a 3 wide, 2 laps to go. West coming around to take the 1 to go here at Atlanta.
Final time. Here they come to the line. White flags in the air. Hackney on the bottom. He'll stay to the inside. Holdsworth will follow. Freer is in a stalemate as well. That's Team Nitro in the 6 and the 8. The outside lane, the middle lane, still trying to get organized, but it's not going to work, Dylan. Hackney about to do what Reddick did in NASCAR for the Aussies out of 4.
Off of turns number 3 and 4 for the final time is going to be 3 wide across the line, but it's going to be Keith Hackney doubling down in Atlanta, getting the race win. Tom Freer taking 2nd, and Aaron Borg taking the 3rd. Holdsworth going to finish out in P number 4. Andy Barber going to finish out P number 5. As what a beautiful run to the finish, a 3 wide photo finish for 2nd place, but it's going to be Keith Hackney doubling down, getting the race win here tonight. And Keith Hackney, a winner once again in the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. Beautiful photo finish. Here you see it there.
Nobody could stop Keith Hackney tonight. Look at this, though, at the finish. 3 wide. Borg on the bottom. Holdsworth lost the momentum. He'll settle for 4th outside the podium as Borg and Freer find a way to get around Holdsworth. And the Team Nitro man lost his partner, Keith Hackney, there. Coming off of that last turn. My goodness, Dylan.
Beautiful race up and down as he's going to go ahead and burn it down in Atlanta before we get the final race results brought up on the race screen, get a little bit of a commercial break in here tonight. But it's going to be Keith Hackney getting the race win, Tom Freer in second. Third is going to be Aaron Borg. Fourth, Jason Holdsworth. Fifth is going to be Ryan Barber. Sixth will be Braden Sagasser. Seventh is going to be Kute Dow. Eighth, Brandon Chooch Griffiths. Ninth is going to be Brad Wright. And running out your top 10, the man that we have not talked about all night is going to be Sam Chapman from Vermilion Esports.
That's going to be 11th of Troy Davidson, followed by Joshua Houghton, finishing the top 12 along with Josh Mickelmore. Gary Wellman with a solid top 15, along with Matt Danson, the Xfinity Australian NASCAR winner on Tuesday night here. Kelvin Clark, Jamie Davis, Riley Curtis, Dave Olgey, and Zach, the South Carolina driver. Dave-O will have to settle for a top 20, along with Vermilion driver Jacob Raleigh, your top 20 as well.
21st is going to be Shane Bowen. 22nd is going to be Jared Gilbert. 23rd is going to be Marty Mitchell. 24th, Griffith Gardner. 25th is going to be David Lawler. 26th will be Ben Henniker. 27th, Aaron Dorman. 29th, Angus Lawford. 29th is going to be Brian Blundell, and 30th is going to be Trent Lavelle.
It's top 30, I think you meant to say. Darren Robb, Timo Blundell, Lewis Greathead, Andy Barber, by the way, Chris Finlay, Fitzroy Beaumont with a tough day for him, Nicholas Garrich and Adam Gray. That's the way they finish at the end of this race with 135 laps, just shy of 205 miles. Four drivers with 5 lead changes, 6 cautions for 18 laps total. Brad Wright, the hard charger, up 24 spots. Keith Hackney was the man that led the most laps of 123 of 100 and of 135 in total, right? What a phenomenal job. And Keith Hackney, fastest lap. Josh Mickelmore from the pole for Nitro. Well, Dylan, I know it had its moments of sleepiness, if you will, and I say that word in no disrespectful term. We just saw a different race tonight, or this evening, and I really think it's got a lot to do with running in the daytime conditions too, because we had a wild one with the X Series on Tuesday night, and it was right at nightfall, and the temperatures kept changing. This didn't happen in this course. I mean, look at the weather conditions. They're still the same now, track temp is, as it was when we came on the air. But when it's said and done, the Georgia boy from the Peach State in real life, Calhoun, Georgia driver Keith Hackney, wins. And again, Tyler Reddick won the Daytona 500 of NASCAR Cup Series. He won Atlanta at the Auto Trader 400 at Atlanta at EchoPark on Sunday. On this Thursday night, last Thursday night, our buddy of Mr. Keith Hackney wins Daytona, and he wins the trucks here at EchoPark. And, man, this guy's carrying the momentum as he will be the points leader. Remember, it's not any playoffs anymore. It's chase, it's points, it's stages. This guy swept all of them, Dylan.
Yeah, absolutely. As he won the first 2, but getting ready to cut on over, get everybody up here in the broadcast booth. Let's hear from the top 3 right after these special words. Is get ready to grab all these drivers with the Australian Truck Series. But here is the ad from CT Electrical.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here with our top three. That's going to be Keith Hackney, Tom Freer, and Aaron Borg. I'm going to start with the race winner here tonight. That's going to be the number 6 of Keith Hackney. Keith, what a remarkable run here tonight. You started towards the back. I mean, yeah, you started 12th, and then within what, 4 or 5 laps, you were up in the race lead, and you just kind of never looked back. You were saving Miss Piggy down on that inside. Didn't want to let go of the inside. All 4 Nitro drivers were stuck nose to tail, but that last restart, when the big one happened, you lost 2 of the 4 Nitro drivers up there on the top. What was going through your mind after that late race restart?
Um, well, hopefully me and Jason just could stay glued together. Which we did. Um, it sucked losing Davo and Josh right there because I mean we had it down pat, like we was obviously working together the whole race, and teamwork makes the dream work. Obviously like we did last week. Um, I don't know. You just got to keep it to the floor and be smart about your decision making and always looking in the mirror, seeing what everybody else is doing and stuff like that. But in the end, it all worked out. Going back to qualifying, I haven't qualified worth the damn all week, so that was to be expected from myself. But I knew just try to get up there, with the rest of my guys, and obviously it there again, it all worked out. So we're happy. Um, yeah, we got a little bit of momentum right now, but I'll go ahead and tell you next week I probably won't even make it 20 laps. So we'll see.
Keith, I got to ask you this question, dude. Obviously, a different race with the truck at Daytona compared to today with the Super Speedway at Atlanta, and the EchoPark race for the X Series on Tuesday night. What do you attribute that? Do you attribute it with the daytime conditions, the warm track temp? What made the racing be what it was until the late race caution gets you all bunched together, and then you're kind of fighting for the last croissant on the dinner table and not leaving any crumbs behind?
Yeah, it was definitely a little different. Because me and Dave was actually talking about that. In the race, like I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I got tight in different areas, and same goes the opposite way. It just didn't feel the same, and I don't know why. But everybody being patient, of course, but you knew it was fixing to be go time. I was really looking forward to the green flag pit stops. We had it planned out. Actually, I think we was going to pit on the lap the caution came out. I think around 105, and then we seen whoever got down there on the grid and spun out, and I was like, "Ooh, that could have been bad. That would have put us in the back if we would have did that." So, I don't know. The racing was good. The racing's good in the trucks anyways. The Xfinity cars now, that's or the O'Reilly car, whatever you want to call it now, on Tuesday night, that was a different kind of race. The racing's you can't really break away like you can in the truck. So had bad luck there, but going back to the trucks here is I think it's just more fun. I think the racing's better, if you want my honest opinion, all across the board.
Well, Mr. Keith, you were able to lead a lot of these laps here tonight. You doubled down 2 Toyota wins in the NASCAR series and the Truck Series here tonight. On to next week, like you said, you might not be able to make it 20 laps, but anything can happen. You got all the momentum on your side. But again, congratulations on a dominant performance here tonight. If there's anybody on that number 6 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is now yours.
Yeah, man. Just everybody at Nitro. I got in trouble. I didn't thank Johnny last week, so I got to thank Johnny. Um, Tunnel Vision by Hackney, Grip Hackney Live. Actually, I did something for y'all this week. I did put Kermit on my truck. And
There it is. Yeah. Herman's
he
riding the bull, ain't he?
yes, that's on the deck lid. He's on the passenger side as well, and
You
I got
technically
Piggy on
couldn't
the
have
driver's
him
side.
riding Piggy, right? Because you had to have a bull there on the truck, though. But I mean, I get it. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's on the passenger side too as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that though. Look at him.
but yeah,
Kermit's
y'all.
riding a bull. I mean,
Um,
I guess the bull's name could be Miss Piggy, though, right, Keith?
but
Oh,
um, everybody for putting this on, and y'all doing a great broadcast, dude. I'll sit back and then I'll go back and watch this thing probably 20 times before the end of the week. So yeah, I just can't wait to keep it going, man.
hey, to add to that, you said you go back and you watch the stuff. So, I mean, are you watching? Is it like watching game film, like the way you would prepare for a
Yes,
football game or a baseball, basketball game? Is that how you kind of prepare, really, for watching game
absolutely.
film, previous races?
Absolutely, because I mean, obviously, you can always go back and see what you did wrong or what you could have did. It's hard to make a lot of those decisions. It's hard to make a lot of those decisions in the driver's seat in the heat of the moment. But then once you go back, if you have to come back to this track, then you know what you need to do.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
All right, let's go to our race winner of Keith Hackney, the number 6.
Back to
Ride the
back.
Dente.
Dylan, back to
Ride
back.
the Piggy. Number 6. Gonna go ahead and move on to our
Back to
second
back.
place finisher of a Tom Freer. Tom, you had it there. You stuck in line with Keith Hackney and Jason Holdsworth. You weren't really a big contender throughout the beginning of this race, but you came on strong there towards the end. And what about that 3 wide move coming to the line? Did you think you had it over Holdsworth, or you just kind of not paying attention, just trying to make that 3 wide move work?
I was just trying to make it work, to be honest. I knew it was going to be difficult when you got two team cars. In first and second coming to the white, the guy in second's going to work pretty hard to keep you at bay. So I sort of thought about having a bit of a go in the second last lap, but as we found out earlier, the side draft just kills any momentum you got. So yeah, just waited to the last corner, gave it a good go. Jason threw a really good block, and I just kept my foot in it and just kept pushing him around the corner. I knew he's good enough to hang on to it. So just did that. Somehow made it 3 wide, and got to the line second, which is not a bad result considering the recent weeks.
Always enjoy talking to you, my friend, the man out of Leeton, New South Wales, sir, and the Synergy Sim Racing number 41. Kind of hung in the back. When did you know it was time to come to the front? And obviously, you got to be happy with a second place finish for the second race of the season, though.
Definitely happy with it. I didn't really know when the time was to move to the front, but I spent a lot of the first half of the race just learning, to be completely honest. I knew the Nitro trucks were very strong. Their lines were good. They were very organized at the front. So I just spent a lot of time watching what their cars were doing and how they were attacking the corners and going about it. So I feel like I learnt enough in that first half of the race to then apply it in the back half of the race. So just knew that it was go time with about 30 to go or whenever that last caution was. And I knew if I could get myself in the right line and in the right position, I could at least contend at the end.
Yeah, definitely gonna carry that momentum here from this week on to next week as you get to turn left and right at a new track here on the iRacing service and in the Truck Series. It's going to be Long Beach next week as we get a nice little clip of where the second place finish was. And man, oh man, was it a
Look at
close one
that.
between you and Aaron Borg, but able to come around with the P2 here tonight for that synergy number 41. Tom, if there's anybody on that number 41 you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Just a big thanks to the Synergy Sim Racing crew. Massive thanks to Team Conti. They put together a pretty good rocket this week for Atlanta. Thanks to those guys. Thanks to all the sponsors at SSR, and I'm looking forward to Long Beach, but I've heard there's some pretty good pubs there too, so if I'm out early, I might go find one of them.
All right, that's going to be our second place finisher of a Tom Freer. Going to go ahead and move on to our third place finisher. That's going to be Aaron Borg, the man who stays quiet. I guess you could call him the deadly assassin. As Aaron Borg coming up here in P number 3, stayed in the back, stayed quiet, stayed clean the way that he knows how. Aaron Borg finishing P3. Kind of walk me through your whole entire race there. You missed the big one. You missed the other little spouts around in turns number 3 and 4. What were your tires like going through this entirety of the race? Were you a little bit tight? Were you loose? What more did you need to try to get around the number 41 down on that inside?
Yeah, thanks guys. It was good fun race. I missed qualifying because I was a bit late, and so started from the back, and first part of the race with the stage racing, I thought we'd just hang back and see what kind of craziness was going to unfold. So we got lucky to avoid a few of the accidents there, and then just found our way when we got to the later caution, sort of started trying to make some moves and get a bit close to the front. And there was like Tom said, it's hard to pull out and try and make moves because the side draft just pulls you back and loses any momentum. So I was just trying to hold that inside line and keep moving up, and then look for an opportunity to make a run at the end there.
So, Aaron, always good catching up with you, sir. Of course, the driver of the number 43 we're talking to on the podium in bronze. You made a move on the inside. You finally got around, of course, Holdsworth, and you now had Tom Freer poke to the top. Hackney still in front on the inside, but you were getting that inside lane. If this had to have been about another 5 laps, could you feel like the truck would have finally worked on the bottom and you could have gave Hackney a run for his money? We're watching on the replay now as you're coming to the checkered flag off turn 4 where you dove from the top to the inside and made the move on Holdsworth and Freer. If this would have been another handful of laps, could you have got Hackney, Aaron?
Possibly. I think, you never really know. It's one of those things that, I don't think this would have happened a few laps earlier because no one wanted to move out of line until the end. So, it would have been interesting because it was out on his own. But, I guess we'll never know.
All right, Mr. Aaron, you come from the back to the front, gaining 21 positions on the grid here tonight. You got a road course next week, left and right turns. We haven't really been able to see any production of the road courses this year, so first one of the year. Can't wait to see what you do next week. But if there's anybody on that number 43 machine you'd like to give a shout-out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, obviously you guys for putting it on. Thanks to Ryan and Andy Barber. We had a good chat during the race. It was always good fun. So, looking forward to road course next week. Should be fun.
All right, well, thank you for coming up here, and congratulations on that P3. But, Wes, 135 laps up, 135 laps down. Your final takes here at EchoPark Speedway.
Well, I have 2 different types of emotions. One part wants me to say it was all I could do to keep awake, right? And I don't want to make anybody mad out there in the Highline streaming world or for Australian NASCAR, but it was single file. I mean, I got to wonder if some of these guys in the cockpit at 4 o'clock in the U.S., besides Keith Hackney, were like, okay, something happened here. Stay on the bottom, right? I mean, but at the end, late race caution, excitement picked up, crazy finish at the end. I'd have to give this race about a B- or a C+. I don't want to be the bearer bond of giving the bad news or the beggar of that, but I don't know, man. I'm just not impressed with the day race at Atlanta, and I really think that is what caused this race not to have the strategy, if you will, of like the X Series was on Tuesday. If any of our audience on Highline or Dylan, yourself, or anyone else for that matter want to go back and watch the race on Tuesday, you could really see the fireworks and the excitement. And even Dean would agree with us. It was highly entertaining. I don't want to take anything away from the race at all tonight, but one thing for certain, it seemed like you had to have committed to the inside. If you didn't have your teammates with you, were kind of virtually screwed, pardon my language, at 6 o'clock in the morning my time. But when it's said and done, though, Dylan, congratulations to Keith Hackney. He picks up again another win. He's now the third. He's now a back-to-back winner. And now we're going to make lefts and rights turns. We're going to go road course racing next Tuesday night at COTA, next Thursday night, obviously, at Long Beach. And here's something to think about. Sometimes in these road course races, you're lucky if you get a caution at halfway. We're going to have cautions thrown in at least 2 times of this race. What type of strategy in 55 laps, Dylan, will we see with those cautions in the stages next Tuesday night at COTA, next Thursday night here at Long Beach, my friend? It should be interesting to watch. But Keith Hackney, congratulations on the road course racing. We'll see how you go left and right.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Long Beach definitely going to bring out the road course ringers. The SVG, as you could say. You know, you're definitely going to be first, second, third, and fourth gear all the way around this racetrack. A lot of wheel spin going around the track as well. But that's going to do it for myself. Dean up in the production trailer, and then you got Wesley Outland, my co-commentator here for the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. Make sure you guys take care.